Hi everyone, my name is Molly. I play the viola and I'm on a journey to becoming a better musician and a happier person. This week I tried meditation before practicing to see if it would help with my practicing anxiety and procrastination. Let's get into it. I have a big goal in February of practicing a total of 70 hours, and stay tuned to the end of this video where I give you guys an update on how the first 6 days of practice went. So I've dabbled in meditation for a long time, and by dabbled I mean I've kind of sort of done it when it's come up, but I've never adopted it as a strategy for improving my life. I thought what better time than now to really try and to see if meditation can help me with my practicing. Meditation is basically the practice of mindfulness. You can use it to train your attention and focus to achieve a clear and calm state of mind. I thought meditation might help me because if you remember in my last video, I procrastinate. And not only that, I consume a lot of social media content. When my phone is in front of me, I feel like none of the rest of the world exists. And I wanted to see if there could be a way that I could clear my head and have more efficient and more focused practicing. And not only that, but see if meditation helps me feel like practicing when I don't really want to practice. So I challenged myself to meditate every day for 5 days, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me on what that was all like. Good morning, it is 6:56. I'm waiting to enter this Zoom meeting for a 15-minute guided meditation that I signed up for at 7. And until then, I will be enjoying my muffin.
Allowing them to be just as they are. Holding them in this loving kindness, awareness, this warmth and a smile.
That was difficult. Kept getting really distracted, which I know is a part of it. Whenever the guide of the meditation says, if your mind wanders, come back to the breath. And my mind is wandering literally like every 3 seconds. And then I have to keep coming back to my breath. Something that helped was just totally relaxing my stomach and trying to take as long breaths as I could and count in my head. It's gonna be a journey to observing my thoughts and choosing to act on them and think more about the things I'm thinking about, or choosing to just let them go and know that I can worry about that later. It is 8 a.m. I'm starting early today, have a busy day. Let's warm up. I definitely noticed, just like in the meditation this morning, that it's really easy for me to go on autopilot and have my thoughts wander. Like one part of my brain is thinking about what I'm doing and the other part is thinking about planning for the future or like what I'm gonna say in my clip that I film after I practice. Because warm-ups are so ritualistic and I do the same warm-up routine pretty much every day. It can be easy to just do it physically but not do it mentally. And I want to be warming up mentally. I want to be warming up all my senses. I want to be warming up my ears because I'm gonna need that the rest of the day, just like I'll need my fingers to feel warm the rest of the day. So I only spent time meditating once in the morning on the first day, and I think it helped me get the gears turning in my head about what I could learn from doing it more and how it could help me achieve my goal of practicing more consistently and feeling more motivated and happier. So that wraps up day 1. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So my lesson is in like 2 hours. I just got out of 3 hours of classes and I noticed myself getting like more and more anxious as it went on. I warmed up this morning. I wanted to do an hour, but I kind of got to a slightly late start and I only did half an hour, which is fine. And I have like 45 minutes planned for warming up after I eat lunch. But yeah, like my urge is to just like be on my phone and watch a YouTube video and procrastinate and like just occupy my mind with something else right up until the minute I have to get my instrument out to warm up, rather than just like mentally preparing myself for my lesson. I don't think it's gonna be a bad lesson. I feel a little nervous because I had a few off days last week, so I don't have like a full 6 days of preparation like I would want to. I'm playing the same music that I did last time. Yeah, I'm noticing myself wanting to think about other things and procrastinate, but I'm gonna try just focus on my breathing for a few minutes before I warm up and then in the car before I go into my lesson. Honestly, all I want to do is like scroll on my phone. I'm actually really nervous to do this. Like I'm feeling like anxious about it, but I'm gonna set my timer for 3 minutes and just try and meditate like I did in the guided meditation from yesterday. Just focus on my breathing and see if I can feel a little more calm. So I definitely still feel all the emotions I felt before, but they're to a less amplified degree. I just drove here with no music on, which I usually don't do. I can't say I was thinking about my lesson and like making sure I'm all the way mentally ready, but at least I was like being a person and being present. At this moment, I don't feel nervous. Just kind of calm and interested to see how this lesson goes. Just had my lesson. It was a good lesson. We talked a lot, and when I did play, all the things I was worried about, like not being prepared, were not even like addressed. And he had all these cool things to talk about and work on that I had not even considered, so good lesson. So it's like 8:30. I was gonna practice another 45 minutes, but I should have known. I never feel like practicing after my lesson. Plus, like, I had ice cream and no one feels like doing any work after they have ice cream. So I'm just going to accept that I don't feel like it and not do the last 45 minutes that I plan to do. And I'll remember this for next time I have a lesson, and I'll try to make up for it the rest of the week. Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 3rd. I think Wednesdays are gonna be my busiest days this semester because I have class from 2:45 to 3:45, and then chamber music coaching from 4 to 5 and from 6:30 to 7:30. And I have homework from my Tuesday, Thursday classes due on Thursdays, assigned on Tuesday, that I have to do on Wednesdays. I noticed on Monday that if I like got my phone out and went on YouTube or Instagram after doing a meditation, the effects kind of went away instantaneously. So I'm gonna try and not go on social media until I'm done with my practicing segment. So if I'm taking a 10-minute break, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do other than just turning on a YouTube video. But hopefully that'll keep my breaks more efficient, help me keep my focus during the breaks. Breaks that I like to take are like just letting my body rest for 10 minutes, just like relaxing my mind. But once I start the endless scroll on social media, I think that actually is a really big energy suck, at least for me. So I'm gonna try to not do that until I'm taking a longer break and it's okay to distract myself a little more. My mind was definitely wandering for a lot of that, and I had to like sneeze a few times. I was able to really slow down my breathing. At first I was able to breathe in for 4 counts and breathe out for 6 counts, but I got to like 6 in and 10 out. So I think I'm a little bit in a better headspace to begin my long day of schoolwork and practicing. So I've played about an hour and 20 minutes so far. I took a 10-minute or 15-minute break. When my break started, I really wanted to just grab my phone and find a YouTube video or like scroll on my Instagram, but I told myself no. I just worked on a Sudoku puzzle and the strong desire to be on my phone went away like after 10 seconds of starting my Sudoku puzzle. Even though Sudoku requires brain power, it's kind of an active state of my focus rather than submitting myself to the will of whatever decides to pop up on my Instagram feed. I feel like even though it's passive to just look at in social media content, it is very taxing on my focus and my energy that I have. So I'm gonna stick with it. I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna make myself a smoothie before I do another half hour of practicing. And that will conclude my morning practice. I'm eating lunch right now and I don't really have anything to say except I'm really tired. I still think there's definitely enough time for me to get done everything I need to do today, but if I know myself, I feel like tomorrow might be a crash and burn day, or I should say, tomorrow might have the potential to be a crash and burn day if I don't accommodate myself properly. So we'll see if I'm right. Wednesday was an overall very productive and tiring day. I think at this point I was starting to understand how to use meditation and presence to help me focus, keep my energy up, and stay on track. Good morning, it's Thursday. As I predicted, I was very tired this morning. I already was gonna try and sleep later than I have been, but I ended up just staying in bed until like 9:05. The half hour of practicing I was hoping to do before my classes didn't happen, but I don't know, like I have goals and I don't want to procrastinate and I want to stick to my schedule, but I also like don't want to suffer, and I don't think that suffering is a necessary part of achieving your goals. So I decided to just rest in bed because I clearly needed it, and I am going to be okay with that, and I'm also going to keep it in mind with the work that I get done the rest of today. So this is the first day all week where it's like mid-afternoon and I haven't gotten my instrument out yet. I guess you guys haven't seen this side of me yet, but on days like this where it gets to this point and I haven't practiced, I'm already getting the feeling, the little devil on my shoulder is saying, just don't practice today. Just, if you've gone this far without practicing, just, what's the point? And like when I think about practicing, I just feel so sluggish. And actually this happened last Thursday too. I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was really productive, and then Thursday I just crashed, and I don't even know if I touched my instrument last Thursday. I'm gonna just have a snack and make a plan for my practicing. I don't want to practice. I already am behind 40 minutes from what I planned this morning. I do have time to get it all done. My schedule is just gonna look a lot different than I planned on, but I know I'll feel really proud of myself if I finish the day having done all the practicing I wanted to do. I'm not sure if this is procrastination or not, but I'm gonna make a smoothie, and yeah, I'm not starting my practice, but also I feel kind of icky, and so maybe this will make me feel like practicing. I don't know, I just wanna practice. But I know that I'm going to. I should really just do my breathing. But like everything within me is like, just don't bother. I don't want to be like this. I'll save you guys the trouble of having to hear my warm-up. It's the same thing every single day. I definitely did not feel as focused as I normally do when I warmed up today. Part of my mind was somewhere else the whole time, and I also kept thinking about how the neckline of my shirt isn't comfortable to play in. So I chose G-flat major scales and double stops in an attempt to get my brain to have to focus more, since that key is really difficult to play in tune. I was still unfocused, but what really matters is that I got my viola out, I played for 40 minutes, and I got physically warmed up for the rest of my day's work. That's far better than if I had just kept putting it off. I'm back on the floor. I have a very strong urge to just stare at the ceiling. I had a little bit of a stomach ache, so I was like, oh, maybe I should go to Target and like get a bottle of ginger ale. Like, that's what I need. But I realized I've been doing that all day. I've been like coming up with things I need in order to finally feel like practicing. And maybe those things would make me feel marginally better, but what would make me feel the most accomplished and proud of myself is getting all, or at this point, hopefully most of my work done and not feeling like I'm cramming it all in or rushing it. In order to get to my 2.5 hours today, I still have 1 hour and 50 minutes to go, and it's almost 7 p.m. I'm also gonna try to just set the timer for 5 minutes and meditate for the entire duration of my breaks. I'm hoping that will help me to recenter my focus and not be too draining. I want my break to be a break, but I don't want to get distracted when I have not as much time as I normally would like to have. It just stinks because thinking about practicing and how I need to practice has been like weighing me down all day, and the longer I go without just like accomplishing at least some of it, the worse I feel. And nothing's gonna make me feel better than just doing it. Like, I don't need a break. I don't feel tired. I don't feel burnt out. I don't feel physical pain. There's nothing really stopping me other than procrastination. It's just crazy, like all day I've been just like going back and forth in my head. Like I said in my last video, this doesn't happen every day, but there's some days where it's just an emotional roller coaster and I make it worse than it has to be. Wow, I just did an hour with just a 5-minute break where I did some more breathing, and I felt really focused the whole time. Like, I wasn't even aware of what time it was. I didn't look at the clock for an entire hour. That is like a state of existing that I have not done in a really long time, like not know what time it is. 20 more minutes. That felt like it took forever, but I did it. I made it to 2.5 hours. That was my goal for today. And now I can relax and go to bed. Good morning. Wow, I'm so tired. I don't think I've ever had 4 productive days in a row and tried to also be productive on the 5th day. Like, this is exhausting. I can't wait to get used to it. Since tomorrow's Saturday, I'm definitely gonna sleep in tomorrow. So the schedule I wrote out started at 8 a.m., 8:30 right now. So I'm a little behind, but that's okay. And I'll remember this for next week, that Friday. I'm probably gonna be a little too tired to get up at the same time I was able to get up on Monday. It's cool having overcome my anxiety and procrastination yesterday and still fulfilling my goal, because I feel like normally when I have an off day, the next day is probably also gonna be an off day and it's gonna take a lot of effort to get back on track, but I'm not off track, so I can just keep riding this train. Friday definitely got off to a slow start, just like Thursday. But because I got through Thursday successfully and overcame my procrastination, I wasn't as worried about how Friday was gonna go. I was already in a much better frame of mind to tackle the day. I just got home from a rehearsal with the pianist that I play with at school. We played for like 45 or 50 minutes and then just chatted for another half hour. Because of how tight my schedule is today, I wouldn't normally count a rehearsal as practice, but I'm going to, because like I practiced 80 minutes before this rehearsal. So if I add 50 minutes, that makes it 2 hours, 10 minutes, and I really don't have time for that much more practice before 2 of my chamber music rehearsals tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and count the rehearsal toward my practicing goal for today and be happy with that. I'm ending my day in my normal spot on the floor. I had 3 rehearsals today and I made a recording of an excerpt to send to my teacher, and it was so amazing how I felt like just calm and prepared for all of them. Me just like practicing each piece a little bit every day made me show up to all the things where I needed to know what I was doing confidently. And sometimes the stress of having to practice feels big, but I think it's the stress of not being prepared that actually makes my life worse. I feel like this was a test and I passed. Happy about that. My thoughts are so loud and pervasive. I'm always either overthinking things or distracting myself or listening to something or watching something or practicing my instrument, which is also essentially just making a bunch of noise. It was really striking to have just a few minutes each day where I totally embraced the silence. I felt like I fully absorbed the present moment. I kept long stretches of those silent moments in the video. It was really nice to hear the cars driving by, hear the air conditioning turn on, hear one of my neighbors talking downstairs. While I don't think I achieved the ultimate calm state of mind where my head was empty of thought and I could just be present, I had a lot of thoughts come and go during my meditations. I think the 2 great things I achieved is every time I was able to slow down my breathing, which calmed me down if I was feeling anxious. And a lot of the times I didn't even realize that I wasn't calm until I started meditating and realized how fast my heart was beating or how fast I was breathing. The other is just that it served as a buffer between whatever I was busy doing before practicing and my focused practice time. If I'm not feeling like practicing, it really isn't that hard to just set a timer for 3, 4, 5 minutes and just focus on my breathing. Another really big takeaway is I'm learning about the difference between giving yourself a break and procrastinating all day, because the end result of both of those things is the same. You didn't practice. But the feeling of one versus the other is totally different. On Thursday, I just made the remark like it was weighing on me all day that I knew that I wanted to practice and I was just avoiding it. And it didn't feel like I was just taking a nice break all day and practiced in the evening. It felt like I was always 1 minute away from practicing, but I kept putting that minute off, every single minute, for hours on end. A book that I've started reading this week is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He's a spiritual teacher. Oprah Winfrey loves him. I'm nowhere near enlightenment, but it has helped me to kind of challenge some of the things I assume about what it means to be a productive person. You don't have to beat yourself up and struggle and suffer in order to succeed. I mean, there's some struggle involved, but that's not the main thing. On page 39, he says to, quote, be the ever alert guardian of your space. And to me, this means protect yourself from your own negative thoughts. The way he says to do that isn't to fight the negative thoughts with negative thoughts about the negative thoughts, but to just connect with the present moment, to calm down, to just let things go. So I'm definitely going to use mindfulness and focusing on my breathing as a strategy that I can implement whenever I don't feel like practicing. I have already gotten to the point where it's just no big deal. I sit down, I focus on my breathing for a few minutes, and I get right into practicing. I know not every day is going to be that easy, and there's still going to be days when I really don't feel like it, and I'm going to have to fight with myself, but I feel like I have more tools to deal with that than I had before. So it's time for the first week's update on my 70 hours of practice goal for the month of February. So this is a chart of how much I practiced every day this week. I think going forward, what I want to do is on the days where I feel motivated and I have time, I don't need to stop at 2.5. I can do more. That's something I'm going to be thinking about for this coming week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below if you have any thoughts about this, if you've tried meditation. I hope I inspired you to at least dip your toe in. I was surprised at how much it changed my focus and my state of mind and my attitude when trying to accomplish my practice goals this week. Here's my Instagram. Thank you so much for being here on my journey to become a better musician and happier person. I will see you in the next one.